Hello, students. I'm going to introduce you to a new software that is SPSS. It is Statistical Package for Social Sciences. And this software will help you to analyze huge amounts of data quite easily. Okay, so the very purpose of this class is to familiarize you with this SPSS. So let me share my screen so that you can see the SPSS software. Yes, this is the SPSS software and it has got two windows. One is data view and other is variable view, right? And let us look at data view. It is here you enter all the data. You have different variable columns. Okay, in each you will be having different variables and you will be entering data for each variable in these columns. This is the data view. Okay, this is where you enter all the data. Then let us click the variable view. Here you will be naming that variable. Here you will be labeling it. You will be assigning values, coding. All this will be done in this variable, right? So the very purpose of the software is to help a researcher or a statistician to analyze huge amounts of quantitative data quite easily. Now let us illustrate the working of this software. That is, of course, as a part of your professional competency course, you need to do a research or that is do a paper, and you'll have to analyze various variables, and you'll have to work with quite a lot of data, and you are asked to do analysis with the help of the software. So we'll just take two variables. Let us take two variables. One is GDP and other is savings with respect to Indian economy. Okay, because the data is easily available in the website of Reserve Bank of India. You just go to the Handbook of Statistics on Indian Economy in the RBI website, and you can just download the Excel file. So the secondary data on gross domestic product and the savings, gross savings of India from 1960s till the recent date is actually available. So it is easily downloadable. So what I'm trying to do in this class is just analyze the relationship between GDP and savings with respect to Indian economy, because you know that of course there is a relationship between savings and GDP. Theoretically, saving is a function of income. So we are just trying to establish whether there is a correlation between these two variables, and we are also trying to find out is the savings a function of GDP. Okay, that is what we are trying to do with the help of this SPSS software, right? And first of all, we know that this is a data view. We are yet to enter the data. We don't know, we have not yet named the variables. Naming of the variables, etc., will happen only in the variable view. Here we have to bring in the data. Okay, let us straight away name the variables. Of course, we know that we are doing here, we are working on secondary data, GDP and these savings of India's economy from 60s to the recent date. So since we have to show the time period in the first row beneath the name, we have to write year. Now, when you are writing in this box, you have to be very careful that you should not use any special character, or you should not use any spacings or capital letters, anything, because it will not be accepted by the software. Okay, you can just write in small letters. Then, of course, we are presenting the data in numeric format. That is why by default it is shown as numeric. So we'll keep it as it is. Then here, since we are representing it as a numeric nominal variable, okay, this data is being presented as a nominal variable. We need not specify decimals. Here we can put it at 0. And here it is a labeling column. Here we can actually use capital letters or any special characters. There is no objection to that, because it will be accepted by the software. And whatever we type in this label column, the result or the output, okay, would be showing this particular label. Okay, in the output or in the result, we'll be able to view as whatever we have typed in the label. Then here, since we are using secondary data, And since we are using scale variables, we don't have much to do in this particular column. This is meant for coding, so we'll not go into this. Now, on the other hand, here we have to show the measure. There is here we have three options, whether it is scale or ordinal or nominal. Nominal is usually for what? Suppose you have an option location. Okay, suppose you are asking a person where is he staying? Is he staying in a rural area or an urban area? Okay, we can just code rural area as one and urban area as two. So here it can be represented as nominal. Similarly, you're asking the gender of a person, are you male or a female? For male, we'll be assigning one, for female, we'll be assigning two. So those kinds of variables, we'll show it as nominal variables. Now, when it comes to ordinal, it's some kind of ranking. Okay, there is you're asking for their preferences, food preferences. Okay, whether you like fruits. Okay, yes, there is. I like fruits. Agree or disagree, strongly disagree, neutral. Okay, those kinds of responses that you have to give on an ordinal scale. Some kind of ranking is there. Okay, are you satisfied? Are you highly satisfied? Are you dissatisfied? Are you highly dissatisfied? So that is an ordinal scale. Now, for data like that is a GDP, for savings, etc. These are scale variables. Okay, you have all kinds of fractions, decimals, etc. So those are scale variables. And here in the first row, we are showing year, and here we are just showing it as a nominal variable. We are just showing for the year in 19, if it is 1965, it is shown as 1, 1966 it's shown as 2, 1963 you are just assigning a value to it. Okay, it's just a nominal. We are representing it as a nominal variable. Now let us come to our two variables. That is the focus of our study is the relationship between two variables, GDP and savings. So let us type GDP once again. You can't type that is you can't use special characters or capital letters or any space between these letters. So let us type GDP as given here. And of course, it's a numeric variable. Let us show decimals because it's a scale variable, isn't it? So let us show decimals. Then let us write this as GDP in capital letters because in the result or in the output, okay, it has to be presented in this, it has to be given in this particular format. So let us type GDP as shown in label. Now, this is actually a scale variable because you have fractional values. This is GDP, isn't it? It's not a code that you're assigning, it's actual value. It's a continuous variable where where it is able to assume any particular value within a given range. So it's a scale variable. Then let us say savings. Okay, for savings, let us again name it as savings. Again, we can't use any capital letters. Okay, no spacings. Once again, it is a numeric variable. You can show decimals for this. And here also we can show savings as since we are actually showing it in the labels column, you can use capital letters, etc. And here also it is a scale variable. So this we have finished our activities in variable view. Now let us move on to the data view. Right now, all these variables are named. Okay, these are the columns where you have to fill in the data. Okay, you have first column with year, and you have the second column with GDP, third column with savings. Right now, what are we supposed to do? Of course, you know that all these data are available in the website of RBI. We know that is we can download the Excel file from there, and whatever data available in that Excel file, it can be just copied and pasted over here in SPSS. So let me just copy and paste it. Okay, you have got the data of GDP and market prices with respect to India's economy from mid 1960s to the late 2020. Okay, let us copy that and let that be pasted here. Let us paste in the second column because we are pasting the value of GDP, isn't it? And again, we also have the data on savings that is also available in the RBI website. Let us that is copy the values of gross domestic savings. of India's economy since mid 1960s till 2018 or 2019. Let us copy that and let us paste it in this third column. Okay, savings. Let's paste it. And so we have got the values of these two variables. Now, as far as year is concerned, it is just a nominal variable. We are not actually showing those years. Instead, we are just name coding it as 1, 2, 3, etc. Okay, so let's copy and paste it. Okay, just a minute. Let me try to copy and paste it. Otherwise, we'll have to give we have to enter it. It's available in the Excel format. Let us try to copy and paste it. Yes, so it has been pasted. Okay, so these are the various years, and in all together, we can see that we have the data for over 53 years. Now, what we are trying to do is that you're trying to establish some sort of a relationship between these two, GDP and savings. First, let us see whether there is a correlation between these two. So, for that, what we can do is that let us go to the tab analyze. Okay, we have an analyze tab here. Okay, you have different tabs. You have data tab, you have transform tab, you have analyze tab. It is in that analyze tab that is you have all these statistical measures. You make use of these statistical measures and you can work out that is you can compute maybe a mean or median. Maybe suppose you want to find out what is the average GDP during this period. Let us say here when you click, once again I'll repeat, you just go to analyze tab, you just go to descriptive statistics and you go to descriptives, and then you want to find out what is average GDP. You just click GDP, you just press this arrow and then go to options, and here by default all these have been ticked: mean, standard deviation, minimum, maximum, all these has been ticked. Just give continue, just press OK, and you will get the data. You have 53 observations for GDP and the mean value of GDP is this much. Okay, this is a minimum value, this is a maximum value, this is a standard deviation, right? Okay, this is how you get, and suppose it's clear, right? And maybe you want to find out what is the mean value of savings. For that, again, you go to analyze, go to descriptive statistics, go to descriptives. Once again, you click GDP, you press this arrow, back arrow, so it goes back to this box. From this box, click savings. You just press this forward arrow, it moves to this box containing showing variables. Go to options. By default, you have mean, standard deviation, minimum, maximum. Just press continue and just press OK. Once again, the result is available. Okay, you have savings. We have 53 observations. This is the mean value of savings. This is the minimum value. This is the maximum value. This is the standard deviation. Right? Now, let us see what is the correlation between these two variables. For that, again, you have to go to Analyze tab. For all these statistical measures, to compute all these statistical measures, you have to go to this particular tab. Okay, Analyze tab, where you have an option called Correlate. And here you can go for bivariate correlation because you've got two variables, isn't it? You have just two variables, GDP and savings. So you just go for bivariate correlation. Click both GDP and savings. Okay, click both GDP and savings. Press the forward arrow. So both these would go into these boxes, into the box showing variables. You just it's by default it's shown Pearson. Okay, so we'll be getting Pearson's correlation coefficient. Okay, and just click by default it is Pearson's correlation coefficient. Just click OK, so you'll get the answer for that. Here we can see that the relationship between savings and GDP happens to be zero point 0.9. So that is very high positive correlation between these two variables, and this result is statistically significant. Okay, from the p-value, it's very obvious that the result is statistically significant. So when you analyze the relationship between savings and GDP, there is a high positive correlation. That is what you can observe. Okay, now another thing that you can actually do here is you can go for regression, right? You just go to this analyze tab, go to regression, and you can go for linear regression. Okay, suppose you're trying to work out linear regression. and you can that is select. Usually we know that theoretically savings, it happens to be a function of GDP, so you can take savings as a dependent variable. You can show it here. Again, select GDP as an independent variable. Here there is a separate box for independent variable. Click the forward arrow so it comes here, and just press the statistics, and you see that all these measures you would get the value, regression coefficients, estimates you would be getting. You'll be getting the data on model fit. Okay, the result of model fit. You'll be that is you need not go for all these collinearity diagnostics because it's just bivariate regression. That is, you have just a single way, a single dependent variable, and sorry, single independent variable. You don't have more than one independent variable. So I think this would be sufficient. Just press continue, select OK, and we can observe the table. And based on that, we can say that yes, this is the relationship between GDP and savings. Okay, that is the beta value is 0.364. Okay, there is 1 unit change in GDP that is going to cause 0.364 unit change in savings. Okay, that is a change that is going to happen in savings when there is a 1 unit change in GDP. And since the level of significance, it is at 0.000, we can say that there is statistically significant relationship between GDP and savings. And the model is also statistically significant. From this ANOVA table, it's quite obvious. Okay, so this is how you do the analysis based on SPSS. That is, all the statistical measures can be computed quite easily using the statistical package for social sciences. That is, you can handle huge volume of data using SPSS. You have numerical, that is, you have numerous tests that can be conducted. That is, from simple statistical measures to very complicated statistical measures. That is, you can compute all kinds of statistical measures like median, mean, and also standard deviation. You have that is coefficient of variation, correlation, regression. You can do quite a lot of complicated statistical testing. That is, you can do parametric testing, non-parametric testing. Okay, all these can be done quite easily using the SPSS software. So here, just attempt to work with the software by using some data which is easily available in the websites of Reserve Bank of India and that is World Bank and IMF. Okay, all these data sets are easily available in Excel format, which can be easily copied and pasted onto SPSS. So that would be quite useful to you. Just try to work with some data set, try to establish the relationship between these two, try to compute mean values, median values, try to find out whether there's a cause and effect relationship. Okay, if possible, try to do some testing, maybe parametric testing or a non-parametric testing. Okay, for parametric testing, we have to make sure that all the conditions of normality, assumption, etc. are satisfied. Only then you can do parametric testing. But otherwise, for non-parametric test, even if it's not normally distributed, even if you don't have equality of variances, you can go ahead with non-parametric testing of hypothesis. But anyway, you just start off with basic statistical measures, and from that we can move on to higher levels. Okay, students, I think it's clear to you. Please do contact me if it's not clear to you. Thank you.